Man, I had a long day of just, doing nothing. So I'm crawling into bed after a long day like this. I could just put on some ambiance and I could just fall asleep. I mean, this bed is so comfy and... Hey man, you got me geoed? How do you keep following me? Hello everyone. Hope everyone is staying warm during the winter. Today we're going to be taking a look at a shorter game called Hypnogogia, created by Soda Raptor. I picked up this game on the Steam sale after learning about it through a friend's recommendation since I liked Ina Dream Barbecue, which is an awesome game by the way. But this is just going to be a shorter, simpler review of a relatively short game. I know that's redundant, but that's how it goes. So grab that warm glass of milk, freshly baked cookies, and that old-timey night fit that old man Scrooge wore. We have dreams to explore. For the basic premise of the story, you are the presumed dream walker, which is this bloke here, and you are locating the shattered remains of the shards of the dream crystal across multiple dreams in order to restore peace and tranquility. It's a very simple story that goes into more detail later with some minor characters, but the course of the story is nothing much to say from this front, but it's simple. But next, let's talk about the worlds we go to. Dream-based visuals often have the connotations to be kind of one-sided in my view. For me, it's nice to see more surreal nature of dreams, and Hypnogogia follows more of a basic route, but not in any disappointment. Each area that I visited was worth remembering and stuck in my mind long after I turned off the game. From the relaxing hills of the bamboo mushroom forest, the quiet atmosphere of the mall, and oh god, where am I and what the fuck just turned around that corner? But also, we can see that the worlds are clearly inspired by the visuals of the PlayStation 1 and more importantly, LSD Dream Emulator. I don't want to go into a full tangent of what this game is, but if you don't know what it is, it's basically just a rare game on the PS1 that inspired a lot of surreal visuals for games in the time that it was realized. For Hypnogogia, I would say it plays more into the stylized than surreal, but it still casts its hand on some downright gorgeous visuals. My favorite worlds to explore were definitely the Frozen City, Bamboo Mushroom Forest, and the Manor that you get to later. Simply put, all these unique areas, maybe aside from the first one, have unique visuals and charm and character that get together, which is a big thumbs up from me. And secondly, let's talk about the characters. Because you're dream hopping constantly, you're going to be meeting faces that you're probably not going to remember besides the main cast, but each one does have its own perspective on life, which is really interesting. In the Cold City, for example, there were all these cats that were wearing parkas and whatnot because the world had been frozen over. For example, in the Frozen City, many of the characters that you meet were just trying to stay warm and survive. But you did see some other kids that were playing snowball fights and basically taking advantage of a long snow day through their childish endeavors. And honestly, this was kind of interesting. Even the quest in this area involves trying to find a kid's lost dog because it's the only friend that it has. It's kind of sad, but it really opens your perspective of how many dreams like this you can have. Speaking of which, let's talk about the gameplay loop. It is really simple and probably could be described in a sentence, but I'll do my best to at least extend this out a little bit. By entering each dream, you're trying to solve a main problem through light puzzles and very light platforming, with one large exception being the inspired Ocarina of Time level called the Forest of Whispers, but I'll get to that in a second. The puzzles range from picking the right dialogue option to finding a secret area, or even trying to just find a specific item to help you along your quest. Really, this is kind of just like a point-and-click adventure game, but it really doesn't require that much thought to go into it. There was only really one puzzle that I was having trouble with, but it was really just because I wasn't looking in the right place. Just because this is really just a walking simulator. But getting back to the Forest of Whispers, this is clearly inspired by Ocarina of Time just because when you enter the area for the first time, you can even see the N64 button prompts appear on the right corner of your screen. And here the puzzles were fun. There was stuff like involving grappling hooks, bombs, and whatnot, but no. The reward here isn't getting the dream shard. The reward was her. Oh my god! Okay, I'm gonna level with you for a second. Just imagine that gif of Spider-Man putting the hand on Gwen. When I first saw Thera, my jaw dropped to the floor and my eyes widened like a cartoon character. I am putting out a PSA, no, a plea for artists that might see this video to draw more of this character. This is even like a crush my cock with a rock type shit. No, she is cute, she is wholesome, she will love you. Dude, there was, unironically, you get to a wedding scene and I felt like this fucking reaction image. This is unironically wife material, and holy, oh my god, rah, I love big women, rah! One other aspect of this game I want to talk about is the horror elements. Consider this a spoiler since this does reveal a most interesting part of the game in my opinion. So if you don't want to be spoiled and you actually want to play the game, skip to here, or if you want to see where this rabbit hole goes, Follow me. About halfway through the game, you're told by this vulture that you're going to be going through some more intense streams that require a larger spirit. This means that you're going to be going to some stuff that might have some disturbing themes or maybe some nightmares involved. So this eventually takes you to a very moody and gothic dimension, and making your way across this random glowing goo pit, which I can find to be Mountain Dew or something, you find a well. It ushers you in by saying, yeah, nothing to see here. And at first, I thought there was nothing, but then I got curious and I jumped down it. This section is masterfully done and caught me by surprise. In a game that really was prioritizing its dreamlike aesthetics with maybe some more mature themes, this really scared the shit out of me. The school's layout twisting and turning, the constant snow presence outside, and even finding this one hidden art exhibit, I thought that these paintings were creepy as hell. It was honestly the most memorable segment, and by the time that you got back to the world that you were going through, you actually find a reference to the original Silent Hill 2, which is cool. In short, if the dev is suggesting to make another game at some point, I really hope that they do lean into this horror element more. They really understand the good ideas and pacing that can come into horror segments like this, and I would love to see a game full of this kind of stuff. Really, hats off to them. And that's the best thing I can think about Hypnogogia as, a short adventure game that really wraps it up with its experience and atmosphere to the highest degree. For people who love games like Ina Dream Barbecue, Yume Nikki, and even LSE Dream Emulator, I would highly recommend this game in supporting the dev on their stuff, and supporting the dev on their future endeavors. By the end, there's also a teaser that there's going to be more to this game if it's not going to be released in 1.0, but I do wish them luck if they do pursue something else. But next week, tune in to see me play Animal Crossing for the first time and give some of my opinions on how this game has shaped the cozy gaming landscape. But until then, stay warm, stay awesome, and I'll catch you next week. Bye for now.
Ha 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 ha!